Hi, welcome to our Jump In series. I'm Pastor Sam and I'm here to share with you about evangelism. And according to Oxford, it says evangelism is spreading of the Christian gospel by public preaching or personal witnessing. In fact, it's zealous advocacy or support of a particular cause. And according to the Bible, if you're a believer long enough, you would know this. It says, go into the ends of the earth preaching the gospel. That whole thing seems so big, right? Go into the ends of the earth and preach the gospel. But let's break it down. In our circle of influence, we mean the world to them, and they mean the world to us. So, have we truly reached out and shared the gospel with the people within our circle? Or have we decided it's a little uncool for us to share the gospel with our group because you don't want to be deemed the goody good two shoes people? Well, I'd like to ask you all a question. Have you ever been in love? Or have you seen two people so in love with each other that they just would not stop going on about it? It's so evident, right, when you see someone in love. There's this glow in them and there's this warm, fuzzy feeling that you yourself would want to be in such a loving relationship, right? Well, basically, that's what it is when you've encountered God for the very first time. It's that special encounter that you just can't stop talking about. So if you don't know how to share the gospel, well, it's basically just you telling your story. Your encounter with God is what speaks the loudest. See, the world today can Google the Bible verses, whatever verse that they need. They can Google them. But they do not know the revelation of that word. Because of our encounter with God, we've experienced God. The word of God becomes so real and so evident in our lives. And it becomes a revelation to the people around us. The world can't see Christ, but they can see us. And we are a reflection or a representation of who Christ is here on earth. So how we carry ourselves, how we share our story, reaches to the people around us. And it creates a desire in them to want to have that encounter as well. There's so many people who are hurting. There are so many people who are broken, who have not experienced genuine relationship, genuine encounters with people. Relationships today are very superficial. It is so rare to actually find a genuine relationship. But genuine relationship should be found among the Christians because we've experienced such an amazing encounter with God that we cannot fake such a thing. If you read our Bibles, Jesus commanded the disciples to go out. They didn't have a physical building. They went out. They went out laying hands on people and healing people, praying for people, blessing people. Those are things that the disciples were actually sent out to do. So, instead of bringing people into a building to have an encounter with God, we, the church, should go out of our buildings to reach out into the community because they are not going to come into our building. But when we go out into the community and we genuinely love people and care for people, people will eventually see that there is something so different about us that they'll be drawn to us. And when they are drawn to us, they eventually come to know that we are children of God, that Jesus has loved us and saved us and redeemed us, and they eventually would want that for themselves. And then it becomes a ripple effect, and that's how we evangelize, basically bringing God to the people around us. As we go into our small groups today, I'd like to challenge you and ask, when was the last time you genuinely cared for a person? When was the last time you shared your story? Before I close, I'd like to leave you with this. Matthew 5:15-16 says, "Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." And John 13:35 says, "By this everyone will know that you are my disciple, if you love one another." I hope this session will stir something up in your heart and will create that desire, will ignite that flame of your first love with Christ, and will cause you to overflow and share your story. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless.